Business ownership can complicate a divorce because now you've got a whole other entity besides the marital community involved in the puzzle. So you've just about doubled the amount of work that's going to have to be done in the divorce to put all the numbers together. Probably the most important thing you need to know about small business in a divorce is how the business is structured and how it's owned. Is it an independent entity, such as an incorporated business or a limited liability corporation? Or is it a closely held business? Is this just something that, maybe the husband's got a pool cleaning business that he runs out of his garage? And in that instance, it's really less of a business concern and on its own and more of just an extension of the parties. However, if the company, if the business is a limited liability corporation or it's incorporated and it's got partners, then it becomes a whole complicated beast of its own being. And that really becomes a larger issue in the divorce to be dealt with. When the business is an entity, it can be served with papers. It can be included in the divorce as a third party. And there's just generally a lot more to deal with in that kind of a business divorce setting. The two major agreements that need to be considered if there is a business involved in a divorce is one, a prenup. Did the couple divorcing, did you and your spouse, did you guys execute a prenuptial agreement or a postnuptial agreement that carves out that business and sets it aside? And dovetailing in with that, that's very important, is the operating agreement within the business. If, for instance, your spouse is in a business 50-50 with another partner outside of the marriage, and they've got an operating agreement, well, that agreement's probably going to spell out what happens if there is a divorce in the personal lives of one of those partners. So these things all fit in together: prenup, postnup, and operating agreement of the business. And it's important that we get all that out on the table if we're dealing with a business divorce. A lot of people are concerned about business debt. Their husband's got a small business or their wife's got a small business, and they're aware that their spouse has run up a lot of debt getting this business started. Well, you need to know, is that debt incurred personally with their signature, or is the business an entity and it was the credit extended to the business itself? Because if it's extended to the business itself, there may be little or no impact on the divorce itself, or it may be major. It might change the whole valuation of the company, and it may change the division structure of the divorce. So if you have a small business, or if your spouse has a small business, and there's a small business to be divided in your divorce, and you've got questions and concerns and worries about how that's going to affect your divorce, we'd like to walk you through that. Call us here at the Von Dolan Law Firm.